SNESdrunk. Another day, another licensed platformer that pretty much everyone forgot about if they cared at all in the first place. The Flintstones in particular was a bit of a weird instance. The movie was released in summer of 1994, surrounded with non-stop hype and promotion, complete with music videos, fast food tie-ins, and of course video games. One thing that always confused me about the film is that I don't remember seeing or hearing any demand for a Flintstones movie. Like, who out there was asking for this? It got middling reviews, and even Nintendo Power dunked on the movie. When they previewed the game, they were thankful that it didn't have much to do with the film, other than John Goodman's face. But yeah, the Flintstones film was one of those gigantic, big-budget movies that was clearly meant to be a summer blockbuster, and it was everywhere for about a month. Then the movie came out, and it just sorta disappeared and people forgot about it. But not Ocean Software. The titans of mediocre licensed games were eager to add to their collection of basic, boring movie games like Lethal Weapon, Dennis the Menace, Addams Family Values, RoboCop 3, The Untouchables, Waterworld, and now the Flintstones. Now, I'll try and be fair here and say that I do think this game is better than what you'd usually get from Ocean Software, but I also don't think the world would be any different today if this game never existed. That's just a dramatic way of saying that this game is not very good. You get 3 lives and 3 continues to get through 5 levels, which are split up into 3 or 4 stages each, and you can save your progress with a password system. The first thing you're going to notice is that you play as John Goodman. I know the game would have you think that you play as Fred Flintstone, but I'm unable to not see John Goodman. Also, someone get this guy a Zantac. He's huffing and puffing like the guy you see in an antacid commercial. Seriously, every time I sit still, my instinct is to just stay here for a bit so poor John can catch his breath, only he never does. He just keeps sucking wind like Zap Rousdower. The next thing you'll notice about this game is that the controls are not very good, and the level design does not help matters either. Right away in the first stage and the first level, you're going to be met with blind jumps and hazards popping up way too quickly before you can react. This is one of those games that tried to get too cute with your character's inertia, so you're always going to be reacting a split second too late. The range of your club is lousy, and since it's a melee weapon, that makes it a guarantee that you're going to take lots of damage without realizing it. And there's just all sorts of odd, unintuitive things, like this block here is actually a springboard. You stand on top of it and let this boar lizard thing run into it, and you'll spring up to the next platform. And 90% of the time, there's going to be a conveniently placed enemy there that you've got no chance of dodging. Ugh. The jump in general in this game can be frustrating, and it's not even the jump itself. It's that you can't just jump onto a platform willy-nilly, like here. Why can't I just jump in the middle right here? Well, because you have to climb up from the edge. The game does try providing some new-ish ideas like collecting bowling balls to wipe out enemies, but you could probably count on one hand the number of times it's actually useful in the game, and again, that's because of the level design. The game only gets worse as you go along. The levels seem to stretch out forever with no checkpoints, and it all culminates in this awful stage where you surf on lava. It's one of those stages where you have to die about 1,000,000 times to get through it, and it's just not going to be worth the time it takes to labor through that one. It's not all bad though, the game does look nice, the sunlight effects in the jungle stages are well done, and the smaller details like parallax scrolling of the background here is a nice touch. The music is also good. Most of the tracks were composed by Keith Tinman and Jonathan Dunn, but there's also a bunch of music here composed by Dean Evans, who you might know from his excellent work on Waterworld for Super Nintendo. Only a couple of his tracks were used in the game, but there's 5 extra songs that went unused that you can find on YouTube, and they are fantastic. So yeah, rather than seeing the Flintstones as mediocre licensed crap, I prefer to see it as the adventures of John Goodman as he tries to stave off a heart attack. Or like maybe he's deliriously trying to fight his way off this movie set in search of some Alka-Seltzer to settle his stomach. You gotta hand it to Ocean when you can't tell if your character either has bad acid reflux or if his heart is simply going to stop. That is some nuanced sprite work. But yeah, otherwise save for some great music and some nice visuals, this game is a stay away. And that's all for now. I want to thank you for watching, and I hope you have a great rest of your day.